representing the people of Makueni.
Yes.
Health is devolved.
Yes.
Senator Dan Maanzo, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you aware of what's happening to the health facilities in Makueni?
Yes,
Are the nurses in Makueni on strike?
Yes,
the government is sorting them.
They've gone on strike just as in solidarity with the other nurses in the nation, and a lot of patients have been moved to the private clinics. Those who could go and recover home have done so. I think it's a matter which should have been sorted as quickly as possible. It should not have dragged this long, but. You remember there has been so many, strikes in the health department. Yep. They're always at the ministry's headquarters, and then they come to the National Assembly and Senate. They have brought so many petitions there. There have been processed petition after petition. And after recommendations are given by the House, I don't see the ministry doing much. I think it's a high time now. Everything is stopped in the country, and the issue of the health workers is addressed.
It's a constant moving target, these health workers issues, right? Right now, I've seen the latest one. They're actually taking issue with the Council of Governors, saying some of these things we've agreed with governors are not implementing, and so on and so forth. I think, like you're saying, everything needs to stop. But even if everything stopped, the way the health issues have been, if it's not nurses, it's clinical officers. It's those ones, it's doctors. It's not those ones, it's UHC workers. It's not those, it is
dentists.
It's not those. There's always something happening in this health space. Maybe, they need to be taken to a caucus. Sasa waanze 12th of August. Let's start with health workers. But karibu sana, Senator. Felaris is going to give you the day's quote.
Karibu sana, Senator. Today's quote is actually is courtesy of an author, Lawrence Nolt. The quote reads, "The river teaches us that persistence is stronger than force." The river teaches us that persistence is stronger than force. How does that speak to you? How do you translate it?
A river in its nature is very persistent. It just goes downstream and becomes bigger as it goes downstream. Worse is when there are floods. The river still has to handle the floods and carry all that water and eventually go back to its natural course. So I think they want to tell us all of us should be persistent, consistent in whatever you are doing, so that you don't begin this today, you abandon, tomorrow you are in this, you abandon. We need to be consistent.
Okay.
Yes.
I quite like that. I think in the quest to be persistent and not forceful, President Ruto is trying to expand Vision 2030, or would I say extend or push forward Vision 2030. To now maybe a Vision 2060, 2063, and so on and so forth. What are your thoughts on this push for Singapore for the next 30 years?
Well, first I was expecting much better than he did. You know, African Union on Vision 2063. But before we come up to the new vision, we need to take stock of what happened to Vision 2030. What were the flagship projects? What happened to them? Have they been completed? The biggest problem with President Ruto's reign is corruption. And the corruption has stalled the vision. The moment a country is riddled with corruption and a few people are stealing and nothing is being done rightly, then there's no need to have a vision. In fact, we have to go back, take stock, and I want to give an example of what I know very well. Twake Dam is one of the flagship projects. It would be giving a lot of water to eastern part of Kenya, the 3 counties plus Kajiado. The weekend I was at Kajiado, and you'll be surprised how much potential as a country we are losing. It has big rivers, which you could dam and get a lot of water for that. And it's got good land. And then the water which was to come from Twake Dam was to come to Konza City and eventually go to Kajiado County. And it will work very well there because the land is flat. But that has not happened. If we are not doing irrigation in Makueni, as we would be doing in Kitui, in Machakos, and in Kajiado, 4 counties, you've seen what has happened to the rain-fed agriculture in the North Rift. The crop has failed. And if we were doing irrigation, we'll be doing much better. But what happened? When President Ruto came to power, he said he wants a water down River Athi to be clean. So he's commissioned some people to clean up the rivers in Nairobi. They left the same day he left. Nothing is happening. Even if you are to complete Thwake Dam today, you just be wasting your time. You'll be just going to have a pool of sewage and this water which is polluted. The polluter is not paying. NEMA is doing nothing. You are in a country which has stalled. And why has the country stalled? Corruption. You've got everything around us collapsing. Education, which is most important for a country. Misapplication of the budget. Every year we make a budget, but it all ends up in if there is an election somewhere, all these by-elections have cost the country a lot of money, which money is pulled from the ministries and government departments. We've gone on to kill Kenyans, through the Maandamano. Totally unnecessary. No one should have died with Maandamano. In fact, Maandamano, if the president addressed the issue, he would not be losing 2 billion shillings, which you should be doing development with. So what he did, all he needed to do is to stop the finance bill, other than waiting to be overrun, kill people, then agree what the people were asking. So I think Kenyans should be listened to. Public participation has been a sham. The constitution has not been followed. Why? President Ruto never believed in this new constitution from beginning. He opposed it, he lost, and now he's supposed to rule with it. So I think it all begins with him. Because I'm aware that the country has a lot of serious brains. You had Professor Ndungu, who was at the Treasury. He felt that he was being controlled from State House. Only one brain is working in Kenya. Everybody must follow that brain. And I think that's where things have collapsed. To me, his speech was hollow. I was surprised. I waited for the points to come out. And I thought at some point he was presenting a poem. He had become a poet. And I waited all through, and there was nothing. So I think it's a high time Kenyans now decided what to do, because it begins with us. The leaders we have are a reflection of ourselves. So before we go to the next election, Kenya should really take stock, ask themselves whether this is the way they want us to live, with every sector around us having collapsed, and with institutions weakened. Prosecution of any crime in this country is a big joke, especially if you have stolen money. How will this money ever be returned to the public coffers? I think that's the big question. Visions or no visions. If there is corruption, everything stalls. It's like a car with the punctures, 4. You are driving a car. You are saying, we are going to Mombasa, but the 4 tires are flat. So let's begin by, how far will you get? You'll not even get to Kansas City.
But then, Senator,
yes,
isn't that then the opportunity that we get here from the president's speech? If we say that from the 12th, we are starting to review the Vision 2030, what's worked, what's not worked in our governance, in our dreams, in our aspirations as a country, so that we fix it as we now look forward, look ahead at what we are doing. I hear you saying the same thing that Ruto was saying. Before the next election, can Kenyans have a conclave and review what's working in this country and what's not working in this country?
You don't know how long that conclave is going to be, who belong to it, how they'll be nominated to it. This country has a constitution. In fact, our constitution is a vision. It's the biggest vision of the country, which was voted by Kenyans themselves. So Kenyans have already talked. If you cannot follow the constitution, even if you talk for another year or another 20 years, nothing will happen. All Kenyans want is action.
Why is the constitution not being followed?
It is the person who is on top of things. It's the person who swore
How did he
to
get there?
protect it. He's been elected.
How did the tortoise get up the tree?
Well, that's why I said we have to rethink how we constitute our government, because everything begins and falls with what government you have. The biggest problem in this country is corruption. If the person at top, and I expected really William Ruto to do something about corruption because he had the capacity to stop it. It starts at the top. If you as a president say no corruption, nobody will do it. In fact, if you go to our neighbors in Uganda, in Rwanda, in Tanzania, you know what the late president of Tanzania did. He fought corruption, he fought back, but he really fought. You know, if the president fought corruption, like in Rwanda, if you are a corrupt person, your days are limited in that country. You either run away, so you can't really steal government monies in Rwanda. Here, it's the order of the day. There's misappropriation. What will you say about the monies taken to Olekrao? Although now people were saying it seems development comes when a member of parliament dies. That's the only time that constituency will see development. Right now they are trying to take away some of the benefits they're given there. They want to take away this fishy equipment, and the people have said no. So you saw the sort of money which was used there, the violence, the goons, the police who are on Prados, and I'm sure they know who they are. Nobody has followed that. The destruction of properties. That money going to Olkalau, where was it coming? That was money which was meant for development in this country. It is part of the budgets in the ministries. And therefore, those PSS who gave that money to the state to go and to UDA to go and campaign because it is the ruling party, that's corruption. But you can see how we are. If you are going on this way, what's the use of sitting down? Actually, what a country should go through in a situation like that is a revolution. We are courting a revolution. We are not listening to the youth. We have seen it. So it's, as much as they want to talk, as much as they sit and talk, we want to see people who have stolen from this country facing the law and the monies be recovered. We have our constitution has given us every organ, recovery, access, authority, anti-corruption. We have everything, but corruption is going on with the permission of the government.
Before we switch gears to, the politics of the united opposition and how that is shaping out, because every day there's a new development. Vision 2030 is, basically going to be wrapping up with the next administration coming in. So could be the opposition that will be in government. Point is, it will still have a responsibility to seeing the, wrapping up of that vision, even as we get into the next one. What is that going to look like, given that right now it's very easy to throw stones from the other side, but once you're in government, this becomes your responsibility, and your responsibility to also communicate to Kenyans what the next vision looks like?
Well, the next vision has to be, discussed and planned and protected. Mm-hmm. But as I'm saying, when there's a new government, and it still encourages stealing of public resources, it is a waste of time, even to have a vision at all. The first thing is to take stock. Who messed up Vision 2030? What was supposed to be done? Who stole what? Because in all those mega projects of Vision 2030, there has been a lot of stealing. I'll tell you about Thwaka Dam. You find the exit, which was valued at 500 million. The companies which worked on the exit of the water brought it to 2.5 billion. So a few individuals want to steal 2 billion shillings. They have gone to court. They have compromised the system. You have judgments. They have engineers who have said the rock changed. They dug up the rocks. But then they said, no. We have discovered this rock is harder. So,
we thought.
and you know the rock structure of Makueni is known. I mean, how are you allowing somebody to steal 2 billion shillings from a flagship and then let that person walk scot-free? I mean, that's where it begins. How many other billions have been stolen? So long as we are stealing from each other, there's no vision. There's no need to have a vision at all.
What I'm hearing from you, Senator, is we take accountability and shelf whatever plans of a vision there are. Mpaka we know exactly what's happened with this Vision 2030, correct?
Otherwise, you're going to have a revolution. This is the only other solution. Whatever government is there, whether now the new government formed by ourselves or this one of William Ruto, if we do not take stock of what is happening, it is not sustainable. You know the education sector is collapsing. What are you going to do with all young people? You have promised them that you are going to give them free fees, you know, the next academic year. So luckily the Minister of Education came to Parliament, to my committee, and I asked him, so how are you going to do this? And then he said, we are going to bring a law to you, so that we are going to bring a bill, so that when we pass this bill, we implement this. You know, a bill takes more than a year to process. So they will be out of government before they give, it's a lie to Kenyans. So then come to the next one, the technical university, formerly Kenya Polytechnic. They're thinking of winding it up. They can no longer finance universities in this country. What happened with the structure? When did it collapse? Then the health sector. You have a corruption deal whereby you have the 104 billion you know, mtandao, which will be used to make sure that you administer SHA properly. We are still fundraising for that. I am very sure that thing cannot cost more than 10, in fact it's worth 4 billion. You can't do even 10 million with that.
Why are you so sure?
You can. We have talked to experts in IT. They say no, this is a big con. So we need to analyze all that, and we want to find out who is stealing this 104 billion and take them to court, make them accountable.
Let me tell you, Senator.
It can't happen in this regime.
I'm listening to you, and I'm just getting a deja vu. This opposition is promising to stop everything, investigate what went wrong in the other administration. Then they start working. Okay?
No.
This is what
No, that's not the
saying.
impression. You've gotten it wrong.
The other opposition said the same thing. And they're saying they were going to come in and they stop everything. In fact, they were going to have a state capture commission, among others. Now here we are. So these guys, politicians. Same.
I think you need to join politics then and come and change the country. And I believe, because there's no other way you form a government other than through an election, other than through political parties. That's how you form a government.
Yeah, but make realistic promises. You know, I was saying...
You should be telling that to President Ruto. He made promises.
Yeah.
He's making more.
You and the others want us to put you in government. Okay? With the promise that, you know, what we are going to do is we are going to look at university, look at SHA, we're going to look at this corruption, we're going to look at Thwake and all the other corruption scandals. You know, we are going to look at that, take stock of what went wrong, and then we move forward.
No. I'll tell you something. As soon as you form a government and you are committed on corruption and you are committed on making sure that no public plunder. Kenya has a lot of money. Our taxes are a lot of money to do a lot of development in the country. All you need to do is to stop, and corruption can be stopped within a week. Yes. It begins by yourself. If you are not being corrupt yourself, the new president, then no one will be stealing from our coffers. And remember, taxes are every second. Money is coming in every second. It will never stop coming in to the government.
Who in the ranks of the opposition is not corrupt?
In the opposition?
Yeah.
I can confidently say that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka is not corrupt. That I can say confidently.
You didn't start with yourself.
I am not running for president. I am not running for president.
But you're in the
Okay.
opposition.
Fair enough. So Kalonzo, not corrupt.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm sure there are quite a number of other people.
So if Kalonzo became president, within a week, there'd be no more corruption in Kenya.
What happens is you first stop it immediately. This is just government plunder. Then immediately begin putting things right and dealing with those who stole so that they can return. They still have the money. And there are enough mechanisms for anybody who cannot explain their wealth how they can return it. Yes.
Let's
Okay.
take a break. In 2022, 2012, among the things that was said is that Uhuru Kenyatta is not corrupt.
Yeah.
In fact,
He comes from
Just-
money. Why?
he comes
What
from
does he need?
Where does he?
Why does
so
he need
under his
taxpayer money?
leadership,
Yeah.
there would be no corruption. I don't have anything to show that Uhuru Kenyatta was corrupt or is corrupt. But under his leadership, was there corruption? Well,
Massive.
let's take a break. Senator Dan Maanzo, Senator from Makueni County, is our guest. We're talking about United Opposition plus the United Opposition's opposition to Vision 2063. Back shortly.
Yeah, there's quite a few comments coming in, trickling in from our fixers on what's happening within the United Opposition, what 2060 Singapore plan, whatever we're calling this new plan, how it's looking like.
It's a caucus of countries.
A caucus of
Kuna
countries.
Vietnam.
I like.
kuna Singapore,
Oh yeah,
kuna
Kuna
China,
Malaysia.
Malaysia,
Yeah, right.
South
It's a
Korea.
caucus. Word of the week, caucus. But we're with Senator Dan Maanzo from Makueni, and there's a question coming in from the Kikombe asking, the Kenyan public is aware that during the impeachment of former DP, politicians received money in the millions. How much money were you offered? Did you take it? Hashtag justice for Gachagua, Donge.
Well, I've been asked that question many times. What happens in Parliament or when the government want to lobby on something in Parliament? In fact, after the trial, you know, the National Assembly is like where you take plea. Your case is read out. And then now the trial chamber is Senate. So after voting in National Assembly, when it came to Senate, after a day or so, and especially after the Honorable Gachagua fell ill, quite a number of senators didn't look convinced that there were really any grounds to impeach Gachagua. And ordinarily, impeachment is a political, is a vote. But again, that vote must be, and the trial must be within the Constitution. You can be able to challenge this in court. So when it looked like the government was going to fail at the Senate, of course, government agencies started lobbying with the senators. Ordinarily, what happens is this. If you are in government and they know you are going to vote for them, you are whipped from the political party. You may not even be looked for. So it's not every time everybody is looked for, because they know certain people, they cannot vote otherwise. So they start looking for the vote of people likely not to vote. That's where they start lobbying. And a vote can become very expensive. So for me, some people look for me. And you see, you do the trial till very late at night. And voting is usually most probably after 11. And therefore, by 9 o'clock, everybody's running around in the dark. Lobbying and asking, and making offers. So I was very surprised when one of the lobbyists offered 10 million shillings. But this was on condition that you vote yes. Because even one vote can spoil the whole of this. And what that meant was Gachagua was going to be back as a deputy president. And now there's nothing you can do about it. So it is that serious. So when this offer was made, it had conditions. If you take this money, you must then vote yes.
And if you don't?
And if you take the money and you don't vote yes, because also staying away can work against them. So they wanted to be sure that you have 2/3. no mistake, because you can take the money and run away, and then they don't get 2 thirds. You still have not helped them. And then, but it was with a condition that if you take the money and vote no or fail to vote, then you will not get to your home with it. So you know where you have to pay with your life. You don't need this, and I didn't need to take the money to vote yes. I'm sure, well, that lobby went on with many other people. Quite a number of people supported Gachagua. It means then, and you know, when you vote, there's a printout. It shows what you have voted.
Clear.
And it is published publicly to show who voted for what. So those who voted yes is a permanent record. It's there in both National Assembly and in the Senate. It's a record which is there. So that when it came to the impeachment of Gachagua, stakes were very.
So 10 million was the open. You kufungua kitabu. You could negotiate, right?
When I hear,
do you imagine that some people
I
who
hear
negotiate
people got
ask for
even
more?
higher offers. It's usually a night you must make a kill if you are going to take that risk. But you know, the truth is, and that's why that matter is still in court. It can be very controversial. And if an impeachment then is about money, then it's not an impeachment. Yes.
If the august house can actually have this kind of levels of corruption, is there any hope for us fighting corruption really in this country? Because yes, Senator, you did not take. It is on record you voted no against the impeachment, right? Yes. There are people who took. It is clear there are people who took this money, and there was, the lobbyists had the confidence of approaching people like you openly and telling you this is the offer on the table. That tells us it's not the first time. And the kind of confidence that they had was serious confidence. If the august house can have such open corruption, so openly, do we have hope of ever fighting corruption? Because we're expecting these same people to go to parliament and oversight the executive and fight corruption.
You know, the only scare of a president is a house that can impeach him. That is the biggest scare of a president. And when you hear proposals like parliament to elect the president or the prime minister, parliamentary system, versus the presidential system. It means whoever has big money will become the head of government. So that's one of the things we should not do, because these are human beings. But I said, corruption can only be stopped from the top. If other countries have managed to stop corruption and they are prosecuting corrupt, in fact, countries like China have made corruption so painful that if you are found you have stolen public money, you pay it with your life. You are hanged to death, or you are sentenced to death. In Kenya, we need to make strict the consequences of corruption. But the systems are so weakened that when you go to court, what do the investigators do? They present the court with weak evidence. The judge has no choice.
Case collapses.
But to acquit, because a judge can only rely on evidence. So you see, when you weaken institutions, that's where the problem. And that's why I'm insisting. If we will have ever to get this country right, we must first make sure we get it right on election. And even the elections are stolen, which is corruption. And in fact, corruption begins with the bribes to the voters. So if you have to spend a lot of money by the position to become a senator or MP, that means you must cover back the money. I mean, a senator or MP is paid like 50 million in 5 years, averagely. So why are you spending 100 million on an election? Why are you spending 200 million on an election? You have no way of recovering that money. It means then you are going to be involved in deals to recover your money. And therefore, corruption begins with everyone in this country. If you go during election time, even right now, you have seen Olokala, and right now, they are doing this fundraising, and making sure that they are giving people back the money. This empowering the youth and the empowerment so-called. It's just a scam. We have enough. We have women fund. We have youth fund. We have every structure to do things right in this country.
Sure.
But it begins from top, and that's why I'm telling Kenyans, unless when we want a change in our country, then it must begin with the election. Every Kenyan now must say, even if I've been bribed, I'm going to vote right. I'm going to do the right thing. And if there's a corrupt leader, please send him home. Then you'll begin building this nation. Everything else is we're just going around in circles. And I believe that's where we begin rebuilding our nation. Stop the corruption.
Who was doing the lobbying in Parliament, in the Senate actually?
Well, there are many state agents. Many people very much associated with the government, and the people have the confidence to walk around with that money even at night, even protect. Even
So
if you have to give me 10 million, cash.
In cash.
Yeah, if you have to you have to give somebody 10 million at night. Where are they going to keep it? Are you going with it to your house? And at times, the problem with being bribed, you can even be given fake money, which you cannot bank the next day. Even when you go to bank the money, where will you tell the bank you got the money from? Where are the taxes? So even when the money is being wired to your account for a corrupt deal, they'll wire it back. As soon as you do what they wanted you to do, they will recall the money and they say it was an error. After all, you are being paid for what? So even in those things, you can easily be conned. So one has to be what time do you have to verify whether the money is real at night?
Jacolonde is asking, has he answered the question? Did he accept the 10 million? Yeah, he has
No. I said
He has answered.
Yeah, because if you take the 10 million and you vote no, I will not be alive today. I was promised not to get to my house.
Yeah.
That's somebody who is powerful enough, even to deal with you, even to kill you and get away with it.
Senator, you're a seasoned lawyer,
Yes.
and you are rights campaign. One of the senators, one of the people actually in this country who stands right there in terms of advocating for human rights and doing the right thing is Dan Maanzo.
Yes.
Do you think our laws are sufficient for witness protection?
No. A lot of witnesses have died in this country, especially if you are a witness in a corruption case where money has been lost. You remember a journalist called Jennifer Itumbe, who was working for the National Land Commission. And there was a case going on of some 120 million shillings or so before a magistrate in Milimani. So one of the days when she was giving evidence, because it's long, she got thirsty. So when she asked for water, when the water she was given, she vomited so much the trial stopped. So the next thing, and I followed up her case, and I'm still following it up to today. The next thing, she used to live in Machakos and come to Nairobi daily. So the next time she was coming to work, a lorry crashed her car, and she barely survived. And in fact, the police accused her, says she's the one who caused the accident and wanted to prosecute her. So when she was picked up called by police in Machakos and went there, and then now she took leave, but was recalled during the leave. And when she went to the office, some people told her to go to Earth House. Around there, I don't know, I doubt whether it had cameras that time, because where they had offices, there are cameras. And the people who are engaging her told her that she should not come with the phone. There are many meetings you go and you're told to leave your phone behind, because even your phone can be hacked when you are not talking to it, and the conversation can be heard. So she went and kept phones in a car, and after that, she disappeared on a Friday afternoon. Then was found on Sunday afternoon dead in Gong Forest. So I put the matter so much in the press as we followed up, and some people, now the husband was to be arrested and charged with her murder after investigations. But some old man came forth and told me, no. I know the people. I saw the people who are with this lady. Because I remember her face now that she's on television.
Yeah.
She's on newspapers.
Yeah.
And this is so and so. So these people were found. The matter is still pending in Kajiado High Courts. And after they were found, unfortunately, they left a lot of DNA evidence with them. And it's completely tied to them.
Wow.
So they were supposed to be charged too. Only one was charged. So you can see how our system works.
Our system.
And then now, this other fellow, what they some of these people do, they later on want to plead for a lesser offense. Oh, that I didn't want to kill anybody, this, like this. And then, so a lot of witnesses, a lot of people will not even want to be a witness of anything. Even when they witness crime, they witness murder, they witness corruption, they're afraid because of the protection. And even in the recent case at Central Police, where Ojuang died, the gentleman died, Albert.
Yeah.
The witnesses were intimidated. The government made an effort to protect them. But how much are you protected even after the trial is over?
The reason I was asking that question is because obviously the second natural thing is if there are some good senators who saw people being offered money and they did not take the money, why have they not gone, to report this?
Yeah.
But then, if you say again, it's all about your life. So it's a balance there between: do I do the right thing and die, or do I not do the right thing and allow corruption to continue?
Yeah.
It's that tricky balance. Let's now say that the opposition is united; it comes into office. Who would you like to be on the ticket? Of course, Kalonzo Musyoka.
Well, no.
Who else?
First of all, I want to say that at that level, they will decide by themselves. They know the best choice for them to win the election. They know when they make a mistake, they will lose the election. And in fact, if the opposition loses the election, some of these leaders of the opposition political parties will have to find a place to live. I don't think the current government will allow them to live in Kenya. They will be destroyed completely out of the menace we have seen so far. So, but the country must redeem itself. So it begins with the choice of the candidate. You must have a candidate who is acceptable to Kenyans and who has every likelihood to be supported by Kenyans to defeat William Ruto. So it's up to them when they eventually sit. Linda Mwanainji is registering his party. And we want to go to the political parties headquarters tomorrow. And they should tell us if they don't want to register Linda Mwanainji, then what is their business in those offices and what are the reasons under the law. If none, they should register the party. If they don't, then we go to court and get an order of mandamus. That they get commanded that you register this political party.
What about the similarity to Linda Kenya and Boresha Kenya? Yeah, I think that was
they are very different. They are miles apart. There was Linda Tumbo also, which was wound up. So.
Let me ask, as opposition, what's the criteria for joining? I'm asking that because you saw me looking at the Taifa Leo. There's a headline there that says, Upinzani wachumbia Jumwa. Wataka Biaisha awasaidia kumng'oa Ruto kitini 2027. Is there a bar?
Jumwa is a politician, and you have seen what has happened to her in government.
What has happened to her?
From being sacked, from this to that. Remember when President Ruto wound up his government?
Yeah.
He wound up his government. When after the maandamano of June 24, of 2024, he sent everybody home. He wound up his government and sacked everybody. Then reconstituted the government, the broad-based, which is actually an ODM government. It's not really his government. If ODM withdraws today, William Ruto is impeached. We don't have to wait for 2027. So his lifeline is ODM. which ODM now, from what we saw in the ratings, that Sifuna has gone away with 3/4 of ODM, and only a quarter is left with the William Ruto. Therefore, Sifuna, having been also chased away from ODM, he has the Linda Mwananchi, which wants to register as a political party, so that is he can also participate.
Okay, but let's go back to Aisha.
Yeah.
You know, to build on your question, Mariam, it looks like the strategy is to consolidate every
enemy of
anti-Ruto
William Ruto
vote, and which then lends to, is there confidence in the opposition actually winning it by merit, doing the 50+1 by merit, and not so much consolidating, because what it looks like right now, it's you're anti-Ruto, come.
Kuja tu.
But from
It doesn't matter your past, your present, your whatever. Just
From polls so
if you
far.
say one term, kuja.
Come.
Yeah, from the polls so far, because that's politics. It is a decision of the people. From poll, unless manipulated. From the polls so far, William Ruto has polled 24. If you add up all the opposition polls, there are more than 50+1. Remember, he has fallen from 50+1 to 24. And exactly if you map out the country, that is what his support base is in the country. And therefore, people like Jumwa, who has been elected before as a member of parliament, who has even risen to become a CS, and then things go the way they are going. If she decides to vote no and mobilize her supporters to send William Ruto home, there's nothing wrong with that. After all, William Ruto sent her home. He used her and then dumped her.
But she's been singing one term, very a confidant, I don't know, a buddy or whatever of President Ruto for a long time before things changed. So then it begets the question, like, is the united opposition in value or just in convenience?
Yeah.
Essentially, because this is a bosom buddy of President Ruto, or has been.
Many more are going to leave. That's happens in politics. I mean, if Rigathi Gachagua never helped William Ruto, he would never have been president. What happened to Rigathi Gachagua? He went through such a hard time. I mean, they could not sit down and sort out their differences. He chased him away. He used him, then he dumped him. It's a common thing. You know, we don't live in heaven, we live on earth. I mean, people betray each other, people differ. And therefore, the more people you betray, the lesser your chances are to come back to power.
Senator, is there a chance of being a little bit too trusting of anybody that comes sloganeering one term without fully knowing what the intentions are? Because now it's almost like we're loading everybody onto the ship. You're like, change your slogan, come. Is there a chance that, we might not be as diligent in scrutinizing this?
I'll put it like this. What if she or someone else is a mole?
Well, there's a possibility of us receiving moles, and we are aware that there are moles within us. Some of people out there have changed or seem to have changed many times. Like sometimes you won't know what is his name, where Moses Kuria is. Today he's beating government, tomorrow he's back. The other day he riots, he leaves. Then the next time he has another offer.
It's called confuse your enemy.
He's a truthful man. He speaks his mind.
Yeah, he speaks his mind. And therefore, finally, in an election, it is a vote. It depends on how finally Juma will vote. And she must have enough reasons. There are things now she knows about William Ruto she didn't know before. So you can't stop her from changing her mind and from voting the way she wants to change, to vote. And if she wants to form her own political party, you cannot stop her. If she wants to join a political party, it's her right under the Constitution. It is now upon the party which will admit her. If she's a mole, woe unto them, because all the information then will be relayed back to William Ruto.
Senator, thank you very much for joining us. Senator Dan Maanzo from Makueni has been our guest. Are you like the senator from Busia? Who says he's not senator for Busia. He's a senator from Busia. Senator from Makueni and for Makueni, Dan Maanzo has been our guest. In the next hour, we talk to the chairman of the Vision 2030 Delivery Board and ask, so 2027 is next year. that is the end of medium term 4 of implementing Vision 2030. Tuko wapi sahi? If you are to mark it, what marks would we give ourselves? Committee for that is coming up next.